Welcome along, my name is Eddie and this is my vlog, and today is August the 4th and I'm just backing the Baling trailer up here because finally we have finished the oats. I decided yesterday I wouldn't record a vlog, I would just get knocked out and get that job done. So I'll attach this all off and get this over here, and so yes, we had a pretty good turnout on the oats in the end. Very pleased with our final yield on the field. We've got a nice full store of it over there, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get the field baled up. We've got the middle of the field, we left it with the straw, so we're gonna hook this up and do that. What I need to be careful of is I need to get out this gateway here, and I don't think there's enough turning circle. There's enough turning circle for the tractor, not for the baler. So what I'm going to do is just bring us around here, turn us here, and just reverse us up so that we can get through here. The other way would be to go around the other sides of the sheds, but it's a bit of a long way around that, to be honest. So there we go. Right, and then we can head down to the field. So these the oat straw here, this is all being baled up and being sold. We've got plenty of straw, as you guys saw in my last vlog. We've got plenty of straw in the shed that should last us a good long while on the farm with our cows. We've still got the harvester out here. I brought it down this end to empty. And I think I've got the Fiat over here, so we might move to our next field today as well. We're a bit close to the gateway there. Let me come here. There we go. That should be smoother. Yeah, there we are. So we're going to start at the far end of the field and work our way back here. We've got plenty of fuel in the tank, and should be good. But yeah, I might see if I can get that that harvester moved down to our field of canola, I think it is. The soybeans are getting quite close as well. They should be ready in the next couple of weeks. So things are going to start to calm down a little bit on the farm now. This has been a monster job to get this field cut. But we should be in a position where we can just get going with this. So I'm just going to jump out, make sure everything is connected up and opened up. Yes, we're all good. All looking good. Right. Let's get us started up and see if we can get some bales made. So yeah, nice big Heston baler. This works brilliantly for what we want on here, and the Heston bales, of course, being slightly bigger, sell fairly well as well. We can and are easier to transport. We're going to get these all stacked up at the side of the field, ready for somebody to come and pick up. We're not going to be loading them up ourselves. They will come with their own equipment and get them loaded up. It's easier for us with direct sales than it is for us to take it to a market or something like that. So yeah, these are all already accounted for. I do need to get some sort of bale stacker, and there is a bale stacker actually that I think is going to be possible for us. So I'm going to go and grab that, and we'll get these all stacked up probably in the next couple of days. The shop has one coming in for us to try out, which I think would be really useful for when we're doing stuff on here, because you've seen how long it's taken us previously to get stuff stacked up with our telehandler, and just something to get bales off the field, especially when we are further afield from the farm, so down in some of the lower fields or down by the sheep. Something that will allow us to get bales stacked off those and possibly even brought back to the yard to stack would be really useful. So I want to see what's available from that point of view. But we should get we've had a good yield off this field. We were getting actually more than I originally thought. At one point I think we got up to like 12 tons a hectare, which was ridiculous for oats. So yeah, it's been a good field that this has that we've been doing here. And yeah, so let's see how many bales we've got. We've not dropped one yet, but that's not surprising. We've got big bales and short rows at the moment. We're a few rows in now, and you can see the yield on this field. We are getting about a bale every row and a half, so it's a good amount we're getting off here. And it should mean that we have plenty to sell. Yeah, it's about a row and a half. I'm expecting to drop another one about now-ish. Looking at this, we're leaving a row gap sort of every third row, roughly. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. This will be a nice level for us to sell. Let's see if we can get this bit up the end here, because that's actually, I think that's not straw. I think that's some dropped grain. So we have lost a few oats there. I think we must have missed the back of the trailer at one point. But you can see, yeah, so top end of that row there, middle of, yeah, about midway through, 2/3 of the way through this row here. We are looking at probably having one next row. I'd be surprised if we dropped a bale this one. Let's see. Bring around. Oh, we did drop a bale that row. Interesting. I'm not expecting to drop one this one then. It was very close to the end, that previous one. So you can see it is, there is a roughly 2/3. Sorry, 4/3. 4/3, so 1 1/3 roughly means that every so often we don't get a bale in a row, or we get one right at the end. In this case, it was right at the end. And since we've fallen into a bit of a pattern now, but the important thing is these rows are now getting longer. So we're going to have a nice, well, we're going to have a little bit of a nice load off here that hopefully we should be able to all get picked up at some point and sold off. I've just got off the phone with Robertson's Machinery. They've got our bale stacker in today, and in fact they were coming past with it. So they asked if they wanted me to have it dropped off. So I've done so. So they've dropped it off in our yard. So once we've finished baling this field, or they are going to be dropping off. I don't know if they have yet. But yeah, they said they were going to be coming past. It's arrived. Do they want me to, or do they want it dropped off? Saves me a trip down to theirs, and should be good. It means that we're in a good pace, and we'll be able to get these stacked up today, which is brilliant, because we're going to be getting to the point in the near future where I want to start getting these fields ready for next year. We have a huge amount of manure on these fields, and what I want to be doing is getting these ready and getting done and things like that. I am considering seeing if I can get somebody in, see if they can take some soil samples or something, maybe get some of the new precision farming stuff in. But we're gonna get a quote, see what they say. It can be expensive to get that kind of thing done, so I want to make sure that it's going to be worth our while if I do. I'm not lowered. Let's get that lowered. There we go. Yeah, I should be able to see as much to pick up as I could then. But yeah, if we can do that once we've got everything harvested this year, that should go really well for us. Should be good. It should be a great way for us to potentially up our yields on this on the farm for next year. So we'll see how it goes. At the moment, though, this is going well. We have a decent number of bales already. To get a bale stacker that will actually handle these, it's a Heath bale stacker. We've actually got it in a yellow, so that it matches quite nicely with our baler. Although I don't think it's quite a New Holland yellow. But it should match quite nicely with that, and with the setup we've got here for our Fiat Agri tractors. And yeah, let's come out and get this one. We'll get this bit, lift our head up. And whoever the harvester was, whoever's behind the combine, has left me just really difficult rows to go with. Oh yes, hang on, that was me. Oh man, I've got to learn to stop at rows every time. Sometimes I just rush it a little bit, and yeah, just create headaches for myself later on. Just under halfway through the field, and we are 20 bales down, so we're looking at how much field we've got left. I reckon we've probably got about 50 bales off this field, which is, yeah, that's pretty amazing, and a brilliant number. More than we would have ever had any use for on their own. And yeah, we're gonna be in a good position, especially as next year. I'm not sure what we're putting in next year. I think after the oats, it might be canola. It's either canola or soybeans. So either way, it's good. We're looking at having a decent crop off here next year, and we won't have to bale this field. It's the thing, really. That is going to be quite useful for this. We could end up, though, we've got two soybeans, two fields of soybeans, I think it is. So those are going to be rotated. I think those rotate into wheat next year, so we're still going to have plenty to bale up with potentially 2 fields of wheat and a field of oats. So it's yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Should do us well, though. I'm quite happy with how this is all going, and how far we should get with all this, and the potential for our rotation. Potentially our rotation could be absolutely brilliant, and it's part of the reason why I want to look at this soil sampling. Because if we can get this right and get our nitrogen and our lime and everything right, things like soybeans are going to be potentially brilliant for us to do, because they'll put the nitrogen back in and will save us in the overall fertilizer. Also means that our manure doesn't have to go quite so far, which would be good. Also means that our field of clover is actually fairly self-sustaining, as clover adds in nitrogen to the soil rather than takes it out as well. So yeah, it should be. There's a lot of potential here with this farm, and applying something like that on here. So applying that sort of method of farming on here. So we are gonna seriously look into it and see where we go. I'm also considering, as I have many times before, for next year, having a new tractor up here as a yard tractor. Maybe a little T4 or T5, just something to pull a bale shredder, a larger bale shredder, should these Hestons prove too much for our current one. And then, yeah, go from there with that. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. We've got plenty of possibilities going forward about how we're going to expand and do the farm. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting time at the end of this year. The straw swaths are getting much longer now at this part of the field, and we're beginning to get, well, I think we were already at the point where we're getting a bale per row. In fact, yeah, we're getting a couple of bales per row now, which is good. But it's really accelerated how much or how many bales we've got. I'm not sure exactly how many I've got in total at the moment. I'll give it a count in a minute. But certainly we are producing a really good number of bales now. And in fact, you can kind of see where these lines of bales have developed across the field. But that is a lot of bales up there. That is absolutely brilliant. So we only have an agreement for so many bales to sell to them. I don't know whether they will want the extras that we've got. We'll see how many, but 50, I think even 50 might be more than we'd agreed. So yeah, we're gonna have to contact the buyer after this field. And wow, look at this. Yeah, this row is this is where things messed up a little bit. What we'll do is we'll come back, we'll get that little bit in there rather than go all the way down to the end and restart, because we'll only have to, well, actually we're closer to the other end than we are to this end, so best thing to do is probably to go down here, come back, get the and then get that little bit, and then go back again. Combine driver making things more difficult for me. Whatever is he like. 46 bales in, and yeah, the tractor is beginning to struggle a little bit with these uphill slopes on this part of the field. I don't know, it just doesn't, to me it doesn't make sense to do the field the other way. I can see the reasoning for it, but it's just gonna make such long runs with the combine that you're going to be in serious danger anytime you cut in of ending up with a full tank halfway down the cut. So this is about the longest length I want to take with the harvester that we've got. But the downside is, of course, that when you're baling or carting or doing anything, there is the possibility that you're going to be doing those things uphill. And while it's not too bad at this point, I mean, this point is fairly flat. It kind of slopes down towards that way, but isn't sloping down too much towards, too much in front of us. But certainly the top half of this bit of the field, you're looking at it being, yeah, you can see now the difference where it's fairly flat or not too bad of an incline at the bottom end here. But once you get about halfway up the field, you suddenly, especially on this part, get this sharper incline, and it's actually not too bad that side of the field, not too bad that side of the field. It's just this middle bit here which is the higher bit. So it's I'm not quite sure what the best way to handle this field would be from that point of view. I'm so very inclined, if you'll pardon the pun, to say it's the way we've done it. As increased a push as this is, I think once you get through this small part of the field, it's actually not too bad, and would be much worse if we did it the other way for various reasons. Let's just reverse that out of that. I think we'll reverse around actually to get out of this. There we go. Yeah, it's a tough one. The fields around here are a challenge, and it's an interesting challenge that's worth investigating further, I think. But you can just see how this field changes where its slopes are the whole way across it, and really does just make it that challenge of what is the best way to do it. It's early afternoon, and this is my last full row to bale up. I was way off halfway through this field. We are now verging on 70 bales off here, which is a huge number. I'm very, very pleased we didn't do the headlands as well. It's made this whole job that much easier, and yeah, 70 bales. We're probably going to end up keeping about 20 odd bales for ourselves, which is not bad. You know, that's going to fill up the shed. The oat bales will be fine for what we need it for. Yeah, we're going to sell off the vast majority of these though, and we'll see how much they'll take, and we can use the rest. Be absolutely fine. But look at that. That is just a massive, massive field of bales that we've got over there. Had we not got the stacker, had that not been delivered, which I've now had confirmed has been delivered, so we're going to go and pick that up in a minute and start trying to collect these up. But it's going to be 7 odd trips, I think, to get these stacked at the side of the field, stacked where we can, where they can be picked up by our buyer. Yeah, we're gonna be spending most of the rest of the day doing that. What I need to do, though, of course, is get these last few rows done. I'm really quite pleased with the results of this. It means that we have had a really healthy harvest on here. I kind of knew that anyway, but this particularly has gone well, and yeah, easily enough bales off here, which makes sense going forward, actually, to do this method of chopping the headlands and just doing baling the rest of the field if we want bales. Absolutely makes sense. Means that we can get on with the field quicker as well. We're not having to either worry about compacting the straw on the headlands while we're using the combine and while we're carting, and we still get a really good number of bales off of these fields, even without the headlands. The headlands tend to be slightly lower yields than the main parts of the field. Anyway, let's get this round carefully. There we go. And it's quite good that that was a set of 4 down the end here, because that's quite useful. But yeah, so we're almost finished here. I think we might try and get the combine and the header out the way first, because we want to stack at the edge of this field, preferably off the side, because I don't know how quickly they'll pick up these bales. Although hopefully before it next rains, because the quality of the bales, well, they'll pay us pretty much whatever we, they'll pay us the agreed price, whether they are able to pick them up before any rain falls on them or not. Just so long as we have them stacked out of the way, they are, you know, and ready to pick up, then they will do that, and they'll pay us the agreed price. So long as the conditions when I finish them are good. So I've nothing to worry about there. Last row. And this will be job done, which will be brilliant. We are going to be, wow, look at all those bales. That is such a good yield off here. And yeah, we would have been, with these headlands, we would have been well over 100 bales, which is a crazy amount to think about. Right, turn my baler off. And we need to unload the last couple of bales, so let's get back on here and get them unloaded. Right, and I need to pick my pickup up. There we go. So those are unloaded, good. And now I'll get this out of the way, and we'll want to get the harvest. Ideally, I think we want to park the bales just, or stack the bales just inside here. So we'll get the tractor out the way. I've got stuck on the side there. This is quite narrow for the turning circles we have. This is the thing. This farm cannot take much bigger equipment than we're using. There we go. So bale out the way. Or baler out the way, I should say, and we'll just grab our little 11090 here and get this in a position where we can get the header on it. So I can get that out of the way, and we want to get this down to our next field, which is going to be down with the soybeans. Not soybeans, sorry, the canola is up next. Let me just bring up my PDA. So yeah, you can see we've got this field of canola down here to do. The other two are the soybean fields. Those are going to be ready in the next couple of weeks. But this one is ready now, and then we've got the carrots to do to finish off this year's harvest. So there's a fair amount of stuff for us to still be working with this year before harvest is finished. And yeah, those carrots are probably going to take us a little while. Although we've got a contract coming in to do those. We're not going to do the carrots ourselves. Although we're going to cart for them because that makes things easier. We can go and place those where we want. But yeah, we've got somebody coming in with a carrot harvester to come and do that because that just makes sense. Right, handbrake on and disconnect that and everything else and drop it off. There we go. So that's onto the trailer and I can go and get that out of the way. Right, so let's clear these out of here and then we can go and get the bale stacker. I'm going to get these down to my canola field so they're ready. It's going to take me a little bit of running and getting about. Ooh, I want to come over this way though. And yeah, that should be a nice diagonal exit. That means we can get this all out of here fairly easily. Past my baler. Yeah, I did try and keep it out of the way. Combine is now down, ready to do the canola, and I'm just gonna drop off my baler up here. Came around the back of the shed because that was the easiest way to go. We really are using this tractor a lot at this time of year, but then this is our workhorse tractor on the farm. It is basically the tractor that we use for everything we can. Let's turn her off. And just disconnect our disconnect our baler, because if we head back round to the other side, we have got our new trailer over here, or our new stacker, and there she is, nicely dropped off by our friends down at Robertson's. And back it up. There we go. Yeah. So this is our Heath Super Chaser, specially set up for handling these kind of bales, these Hestons. We want to hook it all up, jump back in our G190, and yeah, I think this is, so this isn't going to hold. I think this only holds 6 maybe. We'll have a look and see how far it gets, but yeah, it is an absolutely cracking piece of kit. This is going to speed up picking stuff up around the farm really nicely, and should allow us to stack these, and it's nice to find one that handles Hestons. Normally it's quite a difficult thing to find something, but this one came up. It was suggested to us, and should hopefully handle this well. But we'll get it out over here. We'll start at the far side. If we start at the far end and bring Bales back, that is going to be the best way for us to handle this. Especially as we want to be going across where we were before. So we're going to have to give this tractor a good wash. When I'm in the dip, I can't actually see through the mud and the dirt. After a little bit of playing around, I think I've got it nicely extended out beyond my wheels. Yeah, yeah, there we go. That's better. So, pick this bale up here and load it on. There we go. And get this running down the field. So we're going to run down the field like this. Get nicely onto it sideways. And yeah, that's not going to work like that. It's one of those bale chasers that is great for picking up this type of bale, but you have got to be in the right place and at the right angles. Otherwise, you do run into troubles. So when we've got a bale like this that's a little bit of an odd angle, it can be a little bit more of a challenge, but we have got it on. So it works like that, stacks them on, and is all good. And as long as we're turning to the right, it makes it much, much easier. Well, actually, as long as we're turning to the left, actually, it makes it much, much easier. Turning to the right is much less of an angle that we can do it at. So, before we do the next one, we want to lower it down. Like so. Pick bale up. And it works. Just a nice, simple. It's not as I've seen some of the really modern ones, like the Anderson stuff, which got some really complex robotics on it. This is a much simpler system that just picks them up, folds them in, and away you go. So yeah, I've got a lot of bales to pick up, and this is working rather nicely. So let's get these bales loaded. Ooh, next one's over that way. How many have we got in here? 2, 4 so far. I think this will take 10, so this is going to take me about 7 runs to get this whole field done. It is getting later in the day, though. So I think this is going to be a job where I get one of these sorted. And then after that, we should get into a position where tomorrow I can get the rest of these picked up. We've got a couple of days, but I need to get these all done. And if I can get a couple of runs done today, that would be useful. But that is stacking rather nicely now. And means that we are well on the way to getting these all done. Ooh, bring this around here and stack them up. It's 5:20 in the evening. We are on our 3rd stack of bales, and we're just getting them. We're gonna get these ones done, and then I need to head back up to the main house. I've got some bits and pieces to do. Why am I not? How many have I got on here? Oh no, I'm a full stack of bales. That's why that won't work. So let's bring this back up into our transport position. No. Lift this up. There we go. Let's bring that back. And then we're going to go and take this and get this down. I'm going to drop that wheel down. It just makes everything a little bit more stable. But you can see what 30 bales already. We've got 73 in total on this field. So I'm going to have to go round and get the rest of these collected up. But I think what's going to happen is we'll speak to the people who are buying all these bales off us and see if there are enough here. Actually, let's lift that wheel now, because we're less maneuverable with that. Down. And then we can just unload these and get this in the right position. We've got quite a long extension on here at the moment. We can adjust that, but it's better to leave it long. And this, it's difficult to see where I am, but once I get it up, to that height, it gets impossible to reverse it anymore. So I might have to abort this and reposition myself. I can go forward, but going back, this is now scraping along the ground. So we'll abort that unload because I want to get straighter into there. And it's, yeah, not the easiest of things to see, especially with this much mud. I'm going to clean this tractor before we come back out here. It'll make things so much easier to do. There we go. Still a bit of a gap there, but that will do. And yeah, with 70 odd bales, we'll put 4 stacks along here, and then 3 along the other side. and that should all be good. There we go. Left them down. And yeah, that's coming down. So I'm happy with that. We've had a good day. We've got to finish this off tomorrow, which will be good. But otherwise, this new super chaser is working out really well for us with these Hestons. We're not quite far enough back, but we'll sort that. That'll be good. So I'm going to leave this here. All that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from the farm, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.